finally, the big day, and an audience of over 200 million around the world tuned in for the most expensive episode of Succession yet. First came the celebrities. There was Nick Cave and the bad seats, Julie Bishop and her new beau, Lionel Richie, and Katy Perry, whose hat made it impossible to find her chair. Then the royals. Prince Andrew was asked to keep a low profile and not wear anything that would attract attention. So he went with a look best described as predatory wizard. Then, at long last, it was time for the arrival of the new king.
Waiting is the lot of the heir apparent, but none has waited longer than Charles.
But it seems the day wasn't glitch-free for the king, spotted complaining about timekeeping in his carriage. This is what a lip reader told us. He says,
Yes, what could be more boring than sitting in a golden chariot waiting to be anointed by God? But in these tough economic times, the king insisted on an austere, pared-back event. They stuck to a tight budget of roughly £100 million and only used the props that were absolutely necessary. There was the giant Ferrero Rocher, plus this sick hood ornament for his Barina, and the royal handcuffs for his kinky highness. The king also received the traditional palace warming gifts, the sacred holy teaspoon and the oven mitt of destiny. In fact, the event was so frugal, they even limited themselves to just 3 Camillas. The whole thing went off without a hitch until Princess Anne broke a hip and the stewards had to bring out the screens. All in all, a great day for the Emperor and his new clothes, and with all the royals in one place, the perfect day to rob a castle. We cross now to our man in London, the Weekly's UK correspondent, Andy Zaltzman. Andy, a new king has been crowned. As an Englishman, you must be proud.
Yes, of course, Charlie. Proud as mustard. We've done it again. 8 billion people in the world, but yet again, a Brit wins the coronation. We truly are a special people. It was bookie's favourite King Charles III who brought it home for TGB, just like his mummy did before him. And you've got to say, it was a terrific display of being crowned. And here in Britain now, we're all checking all our hats to see if they're also magic. My hat is... I can levitate. I'm just choosing not to.
And what did you make of the coronation itself?
Well, Charlie, it showed Britain at its absolute best. And by best, I mean silliest. And by silliest, I mean best. It's really all we've got left these days, to be honest. I mean, say what you like about the UK in the 2020s, but we still do anachronistic cosplay, feudal core, medieval fetishism better than any other nation in the universe.
Given inflation in the UK is over 10% and the cost of living has forced millions into poverty, how do people feel about the lavish nature of the event?
Well, Charlie, it has divided opinion. Some have criticised the coronation as expensive, ostentatious, outdated and over the top, whilst others praised it as expensive, ostentatious, outdated and over the top.
I thought it was supposed to be a stripped back and modernised affair.
Oh, well, it was, Charlie. I'm surprised that didn't come through in Australia. I mean, if you ignore all the ridiculous clothes, the massive parade, the gold carts, the weird oils, the spangly swords, the military firepower, the medieval wittering, headwear worth more than New Zealand, and a fancy dress budget that could fund a mission to Alpha Centauri and back, well, it was as stripped back and modernised as you can get. But you know, we do have to look at our relationship with the monarchy now. It's 2023. Is the monarchy a beacon of historic constancy in a time of upheaval and change? Or is it an outdated relic that is impossible to explain to the younger generation with a straight face, and which, if it didn't exist already and someone suggested it now, you would think they were out of their minds? And I've actually got the answers to those 2 questions here. The answers are yes and yes. And, of course, Charles is our youngest monarch in Britain for more than 20 years. So the question now arises, will he be able to beat his mother's record reign of 70 years? It's too early to say, but he did, you have to say, he did hit the orb clean out of the Westminster Abbey stained glass windows with his sceptre. The Archbishop just over-pitched, and Charles cleared his front leg out of the way and mowed him over long on for a glorious 6.
Were you watching the coronation or the IPL?
I can't remember, Charlie, but either way, it was loud, shiny, pretend, expensive and ridiculous.
Would you please thank Andy Zaltzman?